Yes,
sir.
Hey, there you are. The story yesterday that we received, gentlemen, that there is letters that are going out to all retired and inactive duty, not only commissioned officers, warrant officers, and non-commissioned officers, that being the NCOs, a complete and total recall back into the service. And I've had confirmations on that from a couple of different sources. And thank you, Mr. M, for sending this to me from KSJB, the North Dakota National Guard units getting set to mobilize. They've been told that it's mobilization time. Gentlemen, I smell something in the wind here. Have either of you two gotten wind of anything?
Complete silence.
Yeah, not on the military thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not me.
I could add something to the Mark Cuban story, though.
Well, hold on here a second, because this, Robbie, we'll jump into that ship here in a second, but this is rather ominous, and I've been getting pings back and saying, yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, the letters are going out. One individual, active military captain, got a call from a friend at the Pentagon saying, you're going to get a letter here, and you're going to be called up. And all your brethren there, I guess he's still active, but just to confirm that the letter's going out. Gentlemen, this has not happened since 1941. And no conjecture. I hate to speculate on an issue such as this, but what would we be worried about in 2008 that we have to do a call-up, and this is massive. I mean, we're talking people into their 40s, 50s, and maybe even 60s to be called back into the military.
Well, they miss me. I'm in my 70s.
Well, there was one...
No, I think they're getting ready for war, and we've said that on this program before. And I think that's going to happen perhaps in the next several months.
Geez, my computer just exploded on me. Okay. Well, war with who, Bob?
Oh, I think they're pointing towards Russia. And, you get the hot spots, which are Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Kosovo, Georgia. I mean, they could start it in all of those places at the same time. And, they've just weakened the Russian economically and financially by destroying their markets. That's what that was all about. They took the Russian markets down 75% on the stock market. They've been ravaging their currency. It's terrible what they're doing. And that's a precursor.
Are we going to see Vladimir Putin back in the charge of things in Russia?
Take that one to the bank.
Yeah, take that one to the bank, Robbie says.
Yeah, I think he's already in charge, so. But that's okay. They're not the bad guys, the Illuminists are.
Well, we're back to the same old problem, whether we're rigging phony meetings in Washington, D.C., and not really phony. Bob, your take on the G20 meeting over the weekend. Like I said, I was watching the British House of Commons, Gordon Brown on the floor with a little popinjays. I like how they all stand when they want to be recognized over there, but I got more out of that than I did out of any news media here, and well, we're just not going to be able to do anything until the 101st day of Obama's presidency, which is probably going to be, 4 or 5 months out? In the meantime?
The end of April, and the meeting's going to be in London.
That's what I heard. Now, that being...
And the meeting they had could have been done by telephone and email. It was a staged event. They called it Bretton Woods II and didn't speak publicly one bit about any kind of a new currency unit or a new trade unit or a new world currency or a new reserve currency. Nothing like that. They talked about we, as a group, are going to create as much money and credit as we can, and we're going to all bring interest rates down to zero, and we're going to save the financial system and screw the public.
Well, and in the meantime, I looked at this, Bob and Robbie, as being kind of a pre-meeting meeting to let them know that this is the way things are, this is the way they're going, Now, whether they, and I can only speculate on this, but I could imagine what was said during that meeting, that sometime between now and, who knows, first couple of months of 2009, we're going to let the markets go. Because they can't hold them back anymore. They can't print the money fast enough. They can't give enough excuses for the bailouts of the financial institutions. So let's let the damn thing fall. And it has always been my conjecture that they created this system. And people would say, well, why wouldn't they want to hold on to it? These people are bankers. They're greedy. They want to make money. They made it out of nothing to steal the real wealth. So let it crash. They bring the system right back up, only this time the difference being we have total hegemony, total global control is what they're after. So if this happens, and we're seeing this call-up happen right now, I mean, you get a letter sent out. They don't expect you in formation here, next Tuesday morning. It takes quite some time to round people up. But these very people can just let this system free fall and crash. They're preventing it from happening right now. A lot of lip service, a lot of free money being thrown around. But it's money that they're bringing up out of nothing, and it's going to be backed by nothing. United States can't back anything. We're broke. So let's and here's my conjecture, here's my synopsis of the whole thing, is they're going to let the markets crash. And there's another caveat to this as well, gentlemen. That leaves far less patriots out there with the ability to pick up a gun to protect their own properties. Because now they're back into the fold of the United States government and the armed forces.
That's a very good point. And if they start a third world war, they get the youth off the street because they'll draft them. And that cuts down the chances for internal revolution. They get people's mind off of the problems that are going on economically and financially because they're worried about whether they're going to get blown to smithereens or turn out to be a crispy critter. And so they've accomplished the diversion. They also are going to blame what's going on for the reason for the financial crisis, and they'll repudiate their debt. And so in one fell swoop, they get it all done, and at the same time, and they probably get rid of maybe half the population in the world, which makes them very happy, because you know how they feel about that. They think there's too many people around. And so it's a win-win-win for them, and we pay the price.
Well, and again, I'll say this: I don't think that it's going to be done by nuclear means, because unless they've got a stash of neutron bombs that they haven't been telling us about. When you start setting these oversized firecrackers off, it makes crispy critters out of a lot of people, but there's this residual radioactive effect that just doesn't stay localized and has a tendency to float around the entire planet. Having said that, if they do something like this, it would have to be preferably chemical, which could be contained more easily, or even biological if you've got a shelf life on the biologicals that you're releasing. But needless to say, we are sitting here, gentlemen, and we know what's going on. We're watching the meltdown. And speaking to Joan Vion, I didn't get a chance to listen to her on your program in entirety, Robbie, but I said, Joan, you know what you're witnessing here. What we are all witnessing is the total, absolute takeover by the bankster gangsters, the people who have been starting all these wars, gaining all the profits, manipulating countries, governments, controlling entire governments. And I says it's unfolding right between